Hi, Bonnie. How are you? I'm good. I just wish I could see you.
I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad you have a
Yeah.
lot to be happy about. There's so much to talk to you about today. So let's get started. I'm so excited. First
Okay,
of all,
good.
congratulations on this, revisiting Dreamgirls and bringing us this
Yes.
this new Blu-ray pack. How exciting has it been for you to go back and revisit this amazing movie?
Oh, you have no idea. First of all, we got to put this amazing new soundtrack on it. So all that incredible music has this really great punch to it that it's never had before on home video. But more than that, like adding back these scenes, there's about 10, 12 minutes of them. More Jennifer Hudson singing, more Eddie Murphy, more Beyonce, but just these moments between the characters, it really, I think it deepens the whole experience. So it's great. It's to have this chance to revisit a movie, take another look at it from a distance, and present what you think is the best version.
Yeah, you never know. It's funny with musicals because I am a huge Broadway geek fan. So anytime I hear about a movie being made and it's a musical, I'm like first in line. There's no question about it. But
Oh,
you
wow.
never know, Bill. I mean, the success of Dreamgirls and then, of course, the success of Beauty and the Beast was,
Yes.
astronomical. Why do you think, people, went for these films and were so enamored by them?
I think the thing about musicals, and let's face it, we love them. They can go wrong sometimes, but when they go right, there's a feeling that you get this elation, you get this lift. Jennifer Hudson singing, and I'm telling you, it's not just a breakup scene, it's the breakup scene to end all breakup scenes. And the
Yeah.
power of that, and the way that you can turn those strong emotions into music and into like strong kind of identification. I think it at its best, it's everything that movies can do. So I think people go in hoping for something like that and chasing it in a way.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's so funny because we look back at it and you go, you name these powerhouses like Jennifer Hudson and Jamie Foxx and Beyonce and stuff, and you had to know when you were making this movie, like you had to have had goosebumps. I mean, for Jennifer to have won the Oscar for that
Yeah,
too, I mean, just
yeah.
unbelievable.
Oh, you've no idea. Jamie Foxx, watching Jamie Foxx watch Jennifer Hudson do, and I'm
Yeah.
telling you for the first time, is something I will never forget. The tear streaming down his face. That's the thing. It was all, Jamie Foxx did this movie in part just so he could watch Eddie Murphy do the movie. He's talked about that. And obviously, it's hard making movies sometimes. You get grueling hours. But poor us, every week we'd have another live performance from Beyonce. I don't think I've ever had as great a time, just pure pleasure going to work every day on a movie.
Yeah, I listen. I'm thoroughly jealous. I have to tell you, there's no question about that.
Yeah,
Listen, I
yeah.
remember seeing that show on Broadway, so that really, takes you
Yes.
back. There's
Me
no
too. Me
question.
too. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then of course, I personally want to thank you for bringing us the live action of Beauty and the
Oh.
Beast because it was so magnificent. I swear to you that I began crying from the beginning and did not stop until the end. And not because I was sad, it was just because it was so beautifully done and so wonderful. I mean, what an experience that had to have
Yeah.
been for you to
It
tackle
was
that.
incredible. It was incredible. And I think, what makes you cry and the reason I wanted to do it, it's that music. It's
Yeah.
unbelievable. And we all knew it from the animated film, but the chance to revisit that and put it in this new context with actors and seeing actors' faces and hearing their voices, that was what was so thrilling. I think all of us were just pinching ourselves again to be able
Yeah.
to present that music in a different way.
Who surprised you the most on that set? Because there were so many, magical moments, of course, but I honestly, the casting was so spot on.
Yeah. I have to say, my friend Ian McKellen, the fact that he
Yeah.
is a natural musical comedy performer, he'd never sung in public before. And there's always, we give him the notes and he's spot on and he's got great musical phrasing. Suddenly he's doing this intricate dance number. That was,
Yeah.
that was so fun. His first musical at age 77.
I know. I know. Incredible, incredible. Just it's giving me goosebumps just talking about it right now, I have to say.
No, it was
You've
fun.
done so many great films, like from musicals, and then of course I've had the opportunity to talk to you about the Twilight films that you've done
Yes.
and
Yeah.
Kinsey and so many amazing things. What is it for you, like when you decide that you're going to tackle a musical or
Yeah.
drama, what makes you decide?
I wish I could figure it out. It's just you look at it, and there's something that sparks in you, and frankly, at this point too, it's something you have to be able to say, I'm going to spend the next 2 years of my life doing that. And those
Yeah.
become precious decisions, as the later on it gets. So it really, you either know, you kind of know it when you see it, and sometimes, in some cases, I'm writing it, obviously, so that's a really a longer process where you commit to something and then you hope that you find it in the script first, and that doesn't always happen. But there isn't. I can't say there's one thing, except for you have to know that thing is there. Otherwise, you shouldn't do it.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially, yeah,
Yeah,
as you say, you're spending a lot of time on
yeah,
something, so you
yeah.
definitely want to connect with it. Now, we're going to see this Christmas, The Greatest Showman, Life of
Right.
P.T. Barnum with Hugh Jackman. I know that you co-wrote that. Like, I can't wait for that. That's so
Yeah,
exciting.
yeah. That was, I have to say, it was a moment between things where I went in and did a draft for my friend Larry Mark, who produced it, and for the director Michael Gracie. It was great fun to work on, and for Hugh,
Yeah.
I've yet to see it. I'm excited to see it. And that was a while ago, so I don't know how much of that has even survived. But it's a wonderful. I mean, Hugh Jackman as the Greatest Showman. That's who he is. So
Hello. Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
exactly.
Oh God.
But letting again, a movie audience see what all those of us who've seen him on stage, letting them see this incredible kind of musical talent. That's what I think is exciting. And again, an original musical like La La Land, which is very, very, there we need more of those.
Oh, no, no question, especially in this day, I have to say there, I just clamor for these types of films. And
Yeah.
lastly, I just want to touch on The Bride of Frankenstein because I'm very
Yes.
excited about that. And I know you're in pre-production, just starting on that. But wow, like those old, Universal films, were you a big fan of those types of films?
Yeah, well, I made a movie about James Whale, Gods and Monsters, who
Yep.
directed The Bride of Frankenstein and Frankenstein. And I did that in part because The Bride of Frankenstein is, I still think, in the top 5 movies of all time. My personal
Yeah.
pantheon. I think it's just a great. Those movies scared the hell out of people back then. It was a great story that when Frankenstein showed at a preview in Santa Barbara, Whale's hotel room, the phone rang at 2 a.m. Somebody saying, "You the guy who made that movie?" Yeah. Well, I can't sleep, and I want to make sure that you can't either. To really be able to find that delicious sense of fear again. That's what I'm excited by.
Oh, good. Oh, good.
Yeah.
I'm so excited for you, Bill.
Ah.
thank you for all of this great stuff, and again for revisiting Dreamgirls. What a treat for everybody, for people who haven't seen it, and of course for those of us who want to watch it 300 more times.
Oh,
You
that's so
get your
great.
opportunity now.
Oh,
And just congratulations on everything, and thank you for your time this morning. I
thank you,
really
man.
appreciate that.
Okay. Great talking to you.